Oh, hey you. Welcome to the Whisperwind Winter Solstice Festival. Well, almost the festival. We're still getting ready a little bit, but it'll start up soon. All of the festivities and the merriment. Yeah, I was just putting the finishing touches on my solstice beverage this year. Last year we did that, the hot buttered mead drink with the chocolate in it, if you remember. This year, it's something a little more classic. Tried my hand at a mulled wine. And it's actually pretty good, if I do say so myself. Oh, well, a mulled wine. You start with a red wine. You add oranges and honey and some cinnamon sticks and cloves and a few other spices and things like that, and you let them all warm up together, and then you serve it warm instead of room temperature, and it's quite good. Yeah, it's very festive too. It adds a nice bit of warmth and coziness to a wine. Would you like to try some? Great. I hope you like it. If you don't like it, then I'm going to be in trouble. There we are. Found these great mugs this year too. You know, every time I go up to the attic of the tavern here, I find something new. So here, give that a try. See how you like it. Oh, good. Oh, I'm so glad. It smells amazing, so I was hoping that it would taste good. Didn't have as much time to prepare this year because there's been so many other things to prepare for, I guess. See, this year it's I mean, I don't have to tell you, it's been a year. There's been some crazy stuff this year. So I feel like everybody here around Whisperwind, I mean, most people, they do what they can to make the solstice special anyway, but I feel like this year people are just trying to do just a little bit more. Give people a little more comfort, warmth. I mean, nothing big and flashy. It's not like the big crazy celebrations you would get at the capital or, some of the other bigger cities like Elan. But it's cozy and it's from the heart. People really need that this year. So, really everyone has been contributing all kinds of stuff. These beautiful lights behind me. Isabel made those. I have no idea how. Absolutely no idea, but it wouldn't be Isabel if she wasn't surprising us all, would it? And Farron found some beautiful foliage, and I think she actually grew some special flowers this year too. I've never seen them before, so that was exciting. And of course, Kalia gave us plenty of candles and other things to decorate with. So we've all been working quite hard to try to make the tavern and the festival just a little bit more special this year, I guess. Yeah. Merrick, usually around solstice time, we do a few things that we don't normally do, and we usually get some oranges, which we don't normally have all the way up here in the north. But this year, instead of just buying a few, Merrick bought a whole crate full of them. So many oranges. It's amazing. Oranges, they're so bright and zesty, and even in the coldest of winter, it just adds that little bit of warmth and fun and cheer to something. So, we have oranges in the mulled wine. We have some oranges, out over there at the food table that Rosie has been laboring over forever. And then I also took the chance to dry some. And I've been working on making some of these little ornaments of orange slices. Yeah, it's nothing huge, I guess, but just a dried orange slice. Smells wonderful still. And I've been hanging them around on some of the different pine trees that we brought in, and some of the different garlands and things as well, just to add a little pop of color. You know, there's something so cheerful about oranges in the winter. Anyway, speaking of which, I should really go finish hanging up all of these ornaments. Make sure everything is set for the festival tonight. You know, I do think that there are some people here just visiting Whisperwind. We don't get a whole lot of visitors, but this year for Solstice it seems like there's even more than normal. Yeah, there's some very interesting merchants around here, and yeah, some people who live in Whisperwind that we don't see very often, they're here already too. So, you know, why don't you go around and, you know, talk to people, and maybe you'll get to know some people more, or maybe meet a new face or two. You never know. Anyway, I should go finish up this, but I'll catch you later, okay? Okay, see you in a bit.
Hey, you there? Yes, you? How important would you say your health is on a scale of I to X? Oh, well then you're either closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you're unaware of the sheer caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of no magic potions in your regimen. Take a seat, take a seat. Oh, take a seat like your life depends on it, my friend. Yes, I'm here to help you. I am a doctor, Dr. Leonard Christmasman, and I specialize in bringing people a happier, more quality life. Right. And we do have to do a little questionnaire first, very quickly. Right. Yes or no questions, so they should be fairly easy. Right. Do you have a name? Yes. Good. And do you have an address? Yes. Good. Have you ever suffered from any of the following? Rising of the Mites? No. Good. Consumption? No, very good. Dropsy? No, very good. Right. You are going to die when I tell you just how cheap my potions are. Oh my goodness. And then call the jailer the town jailer because I'm rubbing myself. Anyway, sorry. Let's continue with the survey. Phlox fever? No. Scurvy? No. Diseases of the mind? No. Oh. I've put these all the wrong way. I've been doing where the yeses are, 'tis a yes, and the no's, 'tis no's. I'll just remember that. Opposite, opposite, opposite. Well, if it would make you feel better, I can make a note of it. Don't normally read. Don't normally read. Yes, that should do it. D-N-O-R-M-A-L. Ah, don't normally read. Right, I won't forget that. Right, did we do scurvy? Yes. Diseases of the mind? Yes. Do you have any leech allergies by any chance? Good. Oh, I did the opposite of the... it's fine, don't worry about it. How much are you willing to spend? Well, trust me, this is top quality. And are you a member of the Night's Watch? Because if you are, you have to tell me. That's a rule that they have. Okay, very good. So let's look at this. According to this, you are going to die. But don't worry, I have something for that. I would say, based off these 3 potions, I would recommend. Right, so what would I do? I think the first one I would probably go with is lizard oil. Have you ever had lizard oil before? Oh, it's basically like snake oil, but on lung salve, frankly. Oh, it's amazing stuff. You take this 5 times a fortnight, and you will be feeling like a professional gladiator. Oh, this is good stuff. I actually do quite a lot of this myself. Hence, my beautiful hair, it actually has quite a nice growth effect. So I would recommend that. We'll get to the price later, don't worry about that. And then lung salve, of course, which is basically just lung salve on lung salve, I guess. Oh, this stuff is fantastic. Yes, every time you feel like you're going to die, all you do is you breathe this directly into your lungs, and you'll feel right as rain in no time. Lung salve. Yes. Don't go over the top with lung salve, of course. And then, what have I written here? Lung salve. And we've went for lizard oil. Yes. What is the biggest cure of all, though? Nature. And what is the biggest part of nature? The sun. The sun heals like nothing else. However, we can never tell when or where the sun is going to appear. That's a problem. But I have a solution for this. Liquid sunshine. Oh, this is the good stuff. This will guarantee that you will live 100, perhaps 200 years. Yes, it's ingested. It goes down. It glows like, well, it glows where no beams have glown before, frankly. And it just gives you a whole sunshine outside in feel. Wonderful. And it kills any horrible illnesses that you might have as well. Yes, I think we could do all of that for 50 gold, I would say. Oh, and no, that's extremely low. Based off this, I could probably get entry into a thieves' guild. Stealing from myself, I am. 50 gold for all 3? Oh, goodness. Can you put a price on living forever? Oh, I do guarantee it from now until I'm forced to move from this place. Are you 100% sure this is great? Okay, well, how about a haircut, perhaps? I'm also a qualified barber. Hey. Oh. Another, you'll get the next one. You'll get the next one. You can do it. Leonard, you can do it. Don't normally read. Okay.
Hello, friend. Winter Solstice is the best celebration in the year, definitely. I don't get out much, so I make the most of this, even though I'm kind of quite busy, actually. Well, I do get out all the time, but just not with people. It's more with the trees. So, it's cold, and I'll never say no to a mug of mead. And this is the greatest mead ever. Not that I've had mead anywhere else, but, you know, it doesn't matter. It's fantastic. Keeps me warm, and yes, I've had just 1 or 2 mugs already, but it's winter solstice. Well, yeah, I mean, so do you like trees? You have a favourite tree? I could talk about trees all night. I could drink mead all night too. Have you got a drink? Hang on. I haven't given my gift out yet. You can have it. Let's not spill any. Right. I need you to close your eyes though. No peeking. Okay. Close your eyes and I'll hand it to you. You could open them now. Here. I turned it myself. There's nothing in it though. Isn't it a beauty? Well, you know, when I'm not at my normal job, I like to spend a bit of time with the wood, and I don't like anything to go to waste. So, the bits that can't be used for your normal buildings and carts and wheels, I do a bit of wood turning, a bit of whittling. You know, like any girl does in her time off. Here you go. Really, I shouldn't be out. It's a busy time of year for me. Everyone else is winding down, the nights are long and it's cold. But for me, I'm out planting trees. I couldn't even tell you how many I planted this week alone. So, exhausting work means any opportunity for a celebration. No, but seriously, it's such a nice time because it means that I know everything's going to start growing again. And that just makes me warm and fuzzy inside. Not quite the same way that the meat does, but you get my drift. Don't tell everyone because they would never believe me. But winter time is the best time to see a fairy. Well, my friend, you take your cup and fill it up and drink to your heart's content. And if you want to see a fairy, then I'm your girl. I'll take you.
That is delightful. Don't find something like this in Tivermag, that's for sure. That's something special. Oh, hello. There's a face I recognise. I'm in a town where I hardly know anyone really, except for my daughter and my friend, but I recognise your face. Serafina. I don't know if you remember me. We met in Tivermag earlier this year. Okay, good. just making sure. I've been introducing myself to everyone here tonight, so I ain't really out my way to do it again. Anyway, I wanted to thank you for everything that you've done for me and for my daughter Kindra. She is really, really loving her apprenticeship here with Isabel. So thank you for delivering my letter and for, I guess, reconnecting me and Isabel. It's lovely getting to see a long lost friend for so long. Yeah, it's really something special. It's a lovely solstice gift, I suppose. Getting to see her and getting to see her and my daughter working together. I think they're going to make quite the pair. Oh, you think so too? Good. Glad to hear you say it. I was talking with Isabel earlier and she said that Kindra is just as bright and just as curious and excited as she hoped that she would be. Yeah, it's good to hear. I think Kindra is still a bit nervous, perhaps just a bit on the fence still about this whole thing. I mean, it's really her first time leaving home, so I guess you can't really blame her. But Isabel says that she's doing well, and Kindra says that she's met some lovely friends here, and of course she already knew you, so I think she'll do well. I really do. This is a lovely town. I see why you spoke so highly of it when you were in Tivermag. Whisperwind is definitely very different. Feels like a different world almost. Isolated from a lot of the different problems you might face in larger cities. And everyone here, they really feel like a family. Maybe that's a bit cheesy for me to say. I mean, obviously there are some people today who are here who are visitors, but the locals, the people who call Whisperwind their home, they really seem like it's more than just a place they live. It's something special. Yeah, I'm glad to see that Kindra is here, getting to experience that and getting to grow in a place like this. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's every mother's wish to see their children getting to excel at something that they love. So it's really, I couldn't have imagined a better place for Kindra. So thank you again. Well, I shouldn't keep you. I'm sure you've got other people to talk to and other things to do to enjoy this lovely festival. But I'm glad that you came over to see me. It's good talking to you, and happy Winter Solstice. See you around.
new here, aren't you? I can tell. You have that glint in your eye. Keep your voice down. Whisper. For I have a secret to tell you. A bit of a cautionary tale of the area. You see, no one around here believes me. They all think it's a story, made up, conspiracy theory. No. It's true. What I'm about to tell you. It'll make your hair stand on the end of your neck. I think you're smart. You look smart. So I will tell you my story. You see, I am a fisherman. It's my job. The other day, I was down by the lake, fishing. I made my way up to the northeast edge, and all of a sudden I see a cave. Now this was odd because there aren't normally caves in this area. So I get out of my boat and I walk towards the cave. And do you know what it is I see? A rabbit. And now I know what you're thinking. A rabbit. But trust me, it was no ordinary rabbit. Its fur was white as snow, eyes red as blood. This rabbit, I tell you, it is the most vile, cruel, ill-tempered rabbit you will ever lay your eyes on. It's got a vicious streak a mile wide. Its teeth. Oh, its teeth is the sharpest thing that you'll ever see. I once personally watched as it bit the head off of 2 grown men. I was there. I turned tail and ran. It was the most gruesome thing I had ever seen. Many I tell them, not the rabbit. They don't believe me. You believe me, don't you? Ah, you do. So, whatever you do, don't go near the cave at the northeast side of the lake, or else you might get your head bitten off by a rabbit. Oi, what avail? Oh, don't leave just yet. I have a story I need to tell you, a cautionary tale about a particularly ill-tempered goat. This one was scared. Wait, where are you going? I was just about to tell you a story. Wait, why doesn't anyone ever believe me? They do look good, but I don't know. Oh, hello. I don't believe I know you. My name's Ruby. I'm Rosie's daughter. It's lovely to meet you. Yes, it is quite marvellous, isn't it? My favourite time of the year. Ah, it's just so full of life and full of magic and just everything nice. Oh, these are some... Oh, well, they're kind of still a bit of a secret, I guess. These are some baked goods. I've been practicing, you see. I've been told that my baking skills are not not the best, and seeing as my mum is so talented, I figured I'd do some practicing. And this time I made little sparkly thingamajigs. The sparkle is edible. Would you like to try them? No? Well, they're actually quite soft. They're not hard. They look it, but it's the way that they've been moulded. Yeah. Here, I'll give you a smaller piece. Just one moment. Here's a small one. Here you go. Yes, they're supposed to melt in the mouth. Do you like them? Oh, good. I'm very glad. You see, my last experimentation was a little... let's just call it an experiment. It's so difficult sometimes, you see, to get the flour right, and the amount, that is, the amount of flour and the amount of everything else, and the spices. Oh goodness. I tried to make some spicy pancakes once. They were very spicy. Everybody was chugging down their water for days. Anyway, but these are quite good, I think. I made them in different flavours. There is some apple crunch in here. We have some cinnamon, we have caramel, we have, what's this, peppermint, chocolate, all sorts. Everything to go with a bit of a festive theme, you know? Quite wonderful. They do leave a lot of sparkles though. That is true. Get rid of these. So, well, I'm very glad you like them. I think I feel more confident showing these around. Yeah. So, I hope you have a great time today. You know, if you'd like to talk some more about baked goods, I'll be here. Maybe we could exchange some recipes. I'm sure you have a few good ones. Great. Okay then. Right. So, I'm going to wander off, and I hope you have a great time. Okay? See you.
Oh, hey. Oh, did you want some more mulled wine? Yes, of course. Bring it on over. I'll fill you up here. Have you been meeting some interesting people at the festival? Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like you've been busy making the rounds. Nice to have people close by, huh? Maybe we don't see everybody all the time, and you know, it might not be super close, but it's good to know that when you need somebody, there's always someone around. It's one of the great things about living in a town like Whisperwind, is that because everyone knows everyone, if something bad happens, we're all here. And maybe we can't necessarily fix a problem. Sometimes it just helps to have someone close by. But there's always someone. Anyway, sorry. Here you go. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying that wine. I've made quite a big batch of it, so... Although the way that everybody's been drinking tonight, I think I might need to break out some of the other meads and ales and things too. I never make enough. I always think that I make enough, and then I don't make enough. But you enjoy it. Okay, catch you later.
God help me. I'm very sorry. Could you keep your voice down? I've got a bit of a headache. Evidently, none of these louts have heard of a quiet drink. Oh, I'm drinking for many reasons. Medicinal, existential, but mainly drinking to the irony of everything. Yes. Well, you see, I'm a magistrate. Cheers. Glorified debt collector in reality. But it's a path of career that doesn't afford you many friends, but does afford you ale. The irony. Well, where do I start? I was collecting time and tax from the locals. Fiefdom on the outskirts owed a fairly substantial sum, so I requested. They weren't forthcoming with their dues, shall we say. And so I left light in the purse. And my boss wasn't too happy, so he encouraged me to find some other means to make up the deficit, so to speak. And so I gambled. I'm not ashamed to admit it. With my own coin. Well, yeah, stupid move. Well, as it happens, the gamble I made left me somewhat in debt to a rather nasty group of people. Now, this nasty group of people were keen to increase my securities deficit, as we say in the business of magistrating. And, well, I accepted. My debt was increased, and I was provided with the funds able to substantiate the deficit left by the fiefdom outside town. Wonderful. Well, I thought so too. So my boss was happy. I paid off the debt with the fiefdom. They were happy because their debt had been reconciled. The only person who was unhappy was me because I was the one who incurred the debt. No. I don't know if you know of levy laws and litigious goings on in this place, but it is the duty of the magistrate to proffer the full deficit of the area. Now, that's why we get the reputation as loan sharks and things like that, because often we have to employ underhand tactics in order to boost deficits when people don't want to pay. Now, I'm not a criminal. I never want to beat people up or break their legs, and so usually I will incur debt myself in order to sate the deficit. As in this example, where I sated the deficit of the fiefdom, I in fact inherited a large debt myself. Now, this is where the irony comes in. My debtors, well, they were reasonable enough sorts, I suppose, for criminal underworld times. They informed me that the debt had been, I suppose, indebted from a third party. They said that I didn't in fact owe them money, but I owed a different group of people money. And who should the group be? Yes, the indebted fiefdom on the outskirts of town. I was instructed to go and meet them too. Either acquiesce or arrange some kind of tribunal. Now I arrived thinking this would be a simple case of me explaining to them that I had forgone their debt in favour of my own, which I inherited from them, and which was also, of course, indicative of the fact that they had the money in the bloody first place. It's difficult to find, but stay with me. So I go to them thinking this is all going to be sorted in a matter of moments. And when I get there, they insist upon full receipt of the deficit. Now I explain to them calmly, in a magistrate sort of way, that I had used that debt to foreclose their own debt to the state, to the town, to the magistrate's office. Well, I thought that would be that, but they said that they would collect what was due no matter what. The circumstances surrounding it were of little importance. And so they beat 20 shades of blue out of me, split my lip, broke my nose, and took all my money. Well, the good news for them is that they didn't recognise my deficit as proportionate to the government, and therefore used the money they stole from me to completely and utterly credit their account with the state. So, I am drinking to irony and existentialism and sheer bad fortune. Not only did I incur the massive debt, but I lost everything that I already had and broke my face in the process. So yes, I came here for a quiet drink, and these louds don't know the meaning of it, but it could be worse. Not sure how. It could be worse. Oh, that's the only drink I could afford. Unless you... No, of course you aren't. No one is friends with the taxman. Well, nice talking to you. Enjoy yourself.
Very good. Oh, hello there. Long time no see. I hope you've been enjoying the general splendor that is the Whisperwind Winter Solstice Festival so far. Good. Yeah, it's turned out really nice this year. I think everyone in town just, well, they needed it. You know, I mean, it's not about the decorations and outdoing last year's celebrations by any means, but I think everyone just wanted to help everybody else feel a little bit special. Seeing as this year has been, well, it's been an eventful year. Let's just say that. Anyway, it's nice to see the town pulling together to pull off something like this. Oh, you know what? Before I forget, let me... Here. Get you your solstice gift. Obviously, you were there when I was making these, so you know what it is. But now you have your very own little cleansing poultice to help get rid of some of that negative energy, the pain and the troubles from this past year, and to help attract some positive energy into the new year. Yeah, people have seemed pretty receptive to these so far tonight. I hope that they help. I hope that next year we have a chance to grow in better ways. You know, it's easy after such a difficult period of time to just assume that everything is going to stay bad, that everything is still going to be hard. And while, of course, there will still be hardships, it's important to not lose hope. Anything can happen. Wounds can be healed. Relationships can be mended. Anything. Especially on the solstice. Anyway, so here you are. Yeah, so just place that right near the hearth, right near your fireplace in your home, and that will help to bring about the right kind of energy for next year. You're welcome. You know, I know you and I may have had a bit of a rocky start when you first got here. I didn't know your intentions. Coming to a small town like this, you learn to be wary of strangers. But I think you and I have crossed that bridge. I've come to not hate your presence, I suppose. Anyway, look at me getting all mushy, wishy-washy. I'm sure you have other people that you'd like to speak to. But thank you for coming by to say hi. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. And happy Winter Solstice.
Oh. Can you see me? Oh, how unusual and perfectly delightful. I was just thinking to myself that the thing that I love the very best about these celebrations is getting to talk to everyone and catch up on the town comings and goings. Now I'm just a watcher, I suppose. Oh, pardon my bad manners. It's been a little while since I've had a proper conversation. I'm Elise. It's nice to meet you. You see that lovely young lady over there? Over there across the room talking to Isabel. Luna, that's right. I'm Luna's mother. Oh, no, it's all right. She won't be able to see me anyway. Believe me, I have tried. That is kind of you, though. Won't you, take a seat there? Enjoy your drink? Yeah, you may appear less like you're talking to yourself that way. Now, I believe I may have seen you before. I'm around a bit, here and there. The veil is thinner on certain days, mostly celebratory ones. What's your story? Oh, do forgive me. It's just that I cherish these opportunities to see Luna. She's grown into a fine person, kind and loving. She always was, you know. As a child, she'd bring home every injured animal in the forests of Whisperwind. She couldn't stand to see them suffering. Her apprenticeship with Theron is absolutely perfect for her and her big heart. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that she's helped you. You should tell her. I've learned that our days are not promised, so it's very important to let people know how you feel. Do remember that. Well, I see someone waving to you across the room. No, it's perfectly all right. I'll just enjoy the music and the chatter. But, will you do me a favor? I have a gift for Luna. It's the only one I'm able to give, but hopefully it will convey to her just how very proud of her I am and how very much I love her. Thank you. You've given me something as well on this solstice evening, and I will treasure it. Perhaps we'll meet again one day.
Greetings. I see you feel of all the merrymaking. Oh, I'm the same way. I totally understand it. No, I'm not one to skip on a good celebration. Eventually, everything becomes too much, doesn't it? So, tell me, what brings you to this wonderful but quaint little town? Oh, I see. It's not your first time here. It's my first time. Yes, you see, you're not from around here. Indeed, I'm not from around here either. You see, I find this little place here, Whisperwind, very intriguing. But not for the reason that most people find things intriguing. It's the isolation from the troubles. your living room. Gift tradition. Very generous. Have you gotten many gifts already? Imagine. I've been looking for you, you know. You may not think so, but you're actually kind of special. I want to give you something too. Here's the thing. I'm not like Rosie or Isabella. Sure, they're very kind people and they give you many beautiful things, many useful things. But I can give you something that you didn't even know you wanted. It's the one thing nobody can get more of.
The more you accumulate, the less you have.
Time's running out, isn't it? I know. This is a very universal fear. I can give you some solace. Please enjoy the rest of this entertainment, these festivities. Don't worry that it might be over soon. I'll give you more time. Enjoy. We might see each other soon.
Oh, hey, back for more. Oh, you're good for now. All right, not to worry. If you change your mind, there's still some left. I think we will be okay after all. There are some people who are kind of slowing down, so I think we'll be just fine. Oh, you know what? While I have you here, mostly my gift for Winter Solstice for everybody around here is the drinks and all the decorations around the tavern and everything. But I did get you a little something too. I mean, it's nothing big. I mean, you've given me so many beautiful things like this moonstone. But I just, wanted to let you know that I really appreciate you. Anyway, so it's, like I said, it's nothing big. But I noticed that every time that you are here in the tavern or even, elsewhere around town, you are always scribbling down notes about everything. I don't know if you're writing stories or what, but it seems like you have quite a lot to write. So I had Victoria dig this out for me. Might not look like much, but it's a journal. And it's bound with special paper that apparently was imported from somewhere, so it's very, very light. And that means that there's more pages in it than a normal journal. Yeah, see how thin those pages are? Anyway, so with the amount that you're always writing down everything, I thought that this might be a good gift for you. You're welcome. I mean, like I said, it's not really a huge deal, but well, you're welcome. Here you go. Happy Winter Solstice. Now comes the solstice night. I wish you safe and sound. Whether snow be light or heavy on the ground, our hearts bring back the light, as all the world must do. May stars fill up our sight with wishes coming true. My wish this solstice night is grace and peace to you. Now comes the time of year where darkness yields the throne. Mother sleeps and night is near. Dance it must be done. Keep faith and keep your candle. The sun is sure to rise o'er the sleepy fields of winter, bringing beauty to our eyes. My wish this solstice night is grace and peace to you. My wish this solstice night is grace and peace to you. Well, hello there. Now there's a familiar face that I've been looking for. You know, I am so glad that when you came to Elan, all those moons ago this year, that you spoke so highly of this little town, Whisperwind. You know, I just couldn't get it out of my head. I thought, you know, someday I'm gonna need to go there and see this amazing place for myself. And you know, I got to say, you didn't exaggerate. No, this place is wonderful. It's obviously very different than the town of Elan. Such a small little village where everyone knows each other and everyone belongs here. It's very serene, isn't it? Anyway, things have been a bit slow in Elan, I suppose. So I thought, what better time to test the waters of being a travelling bard for a bit than around solstice, right? Anyway, it's going pretty well. I've gotten to see some wonderful places that I never would have seen otherwise, so it's great. I'm glad you came to Elan. I'm glad that our paths happened to cross. Otherwise I never would have been here. Oh, the Solstice Carol. Yeah, of course I know that one. You know, I've been holding off on that one because I wanted to wait until, you know, things started to die down a bit. But it definitely looks like people are sort of settling in, you know, the general buzz of the festival is starting to just ebb a bit. As people, yeah, start to just kind of be a bit more calm for the night. Do you think if I start singing it that other people will join in? It is a favourite, after all. Pretty much wherever you go in the kingdom, you got to sing the Solstice Carol on the solstice. You think so? Good. Let's give it a go then, shall we? Alright. Ready? A fire is burning, the long night draws near. All who need comfort are welcome by here. We'll dance 'neath the stars and toast the past year, for the spirit of solstice is still living here. We'll count all our blessings while the mother lay down, with the snow as her blanket covering the ground. Thanks to the mother for the life that she brings. She'll waken to warm us again in the spring. The poor and the hungry, the sick and the lost, these are our children, no matter the cost. Come by the fire, the harvest to share, for the spirit of solstice is still living here. The spirit of solstice is still living